If you are tired of seeing criminals get away with murder, tired of hearing excuses for the wicked, then it's time to take action. Hit that subscription button now and stay in the loop with the Jamaica Young Police channel. We are not here to sugarcoat. We are here to expose the truth, bring justice, and make sure the real heroes get the recognition they deserve. Don't wait for the change. Be the change. Subscribe, like, and let's make some noise and hold those criminals accountable. Justice in action. Speak up. Crime must fall. And remember that we have a go inside the description box and you'll see various links to various things for the Jamaican Young Police channel. JamaicaYoungPoliceChannel.com, where you see articles and stuff like that. Those who like to read, and and we continue to give you guys exceptional material over here. So, moving on. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers, and Patreon members. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yes, as you know that I'm a man who was born and raised in Iberia Beast. Jonestown. I was born at 38 Oxford Street, Jonestown, Kingston 12. Raised in a concrete jungle, Scarface party. 100% authentic junglist. My birthplace says everything. I am not no Johnny come lately or a fraud as a big belly white guy who claimed to be junglist and he's not. He's a British guy. So, we're getting closer to this election because now it's June. And we expect election to be before August. So we're looking at like July next month. So we at the Jamaica Young Police channel. As I said before, this is just like one man against the world because others, that you have others who are doing their thing. But I am just focusing on my country because Jamaica Young Police channel is all about the truth. We don't take side. So we have to just tell the truth. So we're going to let you listen to a commentary from Cliff Hughes, giving you some breakdown about the polls and what's going on and who the Jamaican people trust. And we're just giving you some breakdown. As you see, you're looking in the middle, that is Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Andrew Barnia, means saying Barna Jamaica, and the Barna England, as Mark Gomebir Golding. Andrew has school and classmates who can, as I tell you already, ACP Gary Mackenzie, the crooked cop here, he's his schoolmate. If you are in Westmoreland, I know of a lawyer named Lawyer Brown, that is Andrew Holness' classmate too. He was a police officer, we were cadets together. He's from Jonestown. Yes, his family are PMP, but guess what? They were forced to leave, and because they forced them to leave, tell them that they are labor rights. That's why this man become a labor right, because his family, they weren't involved in any politics or anything like that and trying to create any problem in Jonestown. It was the PMP that came there and caused the division, and his family have to leave. That's a lawyer, his name is Devon Brown. So he was forced to leave, just like Eric Brown, another guy who was police and he serves in the Marine up here. They were forced to become labor rights because they were chased up by PMP. So Lawyer Brown, who's in Westmoreland, one of the that's a lawyer that under the case with the policeman that demanded $2 million from the gunman that he held with the gun in Westmoreland. That's a lawyer. Yes, he's from Jonestown. We born and grew in the same community. We were even police cadets together and police officers. His family was chased out of Jonestown. They were given the ultimatum, either leave or they kill them because they are labor rights. And because of that, that man is a labourite. Yes, he went to school with Andrew Holness. You can't tell him nothing. He hate PMP with every fibre in his body because of what they have done to him. Rightfully so. I don't believe in forgiveness either, and I support him for that, because they are real evil people. They have killed a lot of innocent people, and the blood of them innocent Jamaicans are on these people. So you're going to listen. 51% of the Jamaican people trust Andrew Holness. Andrew has his Jamaican birth certificate. Andrew don't have to tell you that he was born in Jamaica, because we know that he was born in a 2-bedroom boardhouse in Spanish Town. So he's our own boy. We are not saying he's perfect, but we rather the own boy than the foreigner. We don't want a foreigner come in our country, go back to England. So before we let you listen to Cliff Hughes, as usual, we have to give you some, some context. Yeah, we have to, you understand. So we say Jamaica first. Just like how Donald Trump tell us, say America first, we say Jamaica first. Reject the foreigner and the party of traitors. My fellow Jamaicans, as we approach what will be the most critical election in our nation's modern history, I urge you to pause and look deeply into your soul and the soul of our country. This election is not just a contest between parties. It is a decision about the very future of Jamaica. It is a question of national survival. We will be ruled by Jamaicans who understand our struggles, our cultures, our pain and our progress, or will be handing over to a foreigner with blood on his hands and no ties to our land. Let us speak the truth without apology. Mark Gummy Golding is not one of us. He was born in England, the same England that colonized, brutalized and enslaved our ancestors. He was not born in Jamaica. He never grew up playing football barefoot in the lanes of Spanish Town as Andrew Holness. Nor did he ever go to school in Kingston or walk with lunch money from his granny. No, this man infiltrated the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization with one agenda: to undermine Jamaica and turn it into a lawless playground for criminals and elitist foreigners like himself. Let me tell you what opened my eyes to his agenda. It was a cold-blooded murder. Yes, the cold-blooded and violent murder. The death of Sweeney and Rum Punch in Gregory Park, St. Catherine. The word on the ground was that Mark Gummy Bear Golding's fingerprint were all over it. That was when I knew without a shadow of doubt that this man was not here to help us. He's here to destroy us from within. He is the foreigner in every sense of the word, in blood, in spirit, and in agenda. So that's how I found out that this man was not born in Jamaica, because of that murder in Gregory Park, where 52 people were left homeless by this man. He had blood on his hands. You'll never hear this man, even when a policeman is killed, that this man offer condolences to police officers, their families. You'll never hear this man, even after they killed the people in Gregory Park, he didn't visit the family, the people that were displaced. He didn't offer condolences to them because he has a thing called guilty conscience. He know that he was behind it. And he was the puppet master. And that's when I received a call from a member, someone very, very close to him in the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, who called me and told me the day after the fire that Mark Gummy Bear Golding is not a Jamaican by birth. There's no other Jamaicans or YouTubers or anyone can make claim to that. And the reason why they told me, because they know they can trust me. I'm from a PMP family. Everything is PMP background, everything. Everything that my family had owned in Jamaica, in the Kingston metropolitan area, St. Catherine, Waterford, and other parts. Even my uncle that received a house on Portland West. All of it, my cousins, them, everyone, PMP. But the reason why I'm speaking out, I'm tired of the killing. It's only 2 of us left. What should it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I can't do that. So that's why I have to speak up. And that's what I am doing right now. I won't stop until these people change. These people are responsible for this carnage and this culture of criminality. When I'm gone, I know somebody else will take up the reign, because we are seeing Jamaica coming back to itself. This culture of murder culture, it's time for us to destroy it. And the only way for us to destroy it is to make sure that we make the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization non-existent. Destroy all these garrisons and these gunmen and the gunman philosophy that they imparted to our youths, including yours truly. I could have caught up in the same philosophy and I would be dead if I didn't have good parents and a community that grows me. I remember when I was going to high school and I was boarding with strangers. I can tell you, one of them, she remember now, they used to tell me, yes, they never predict that I would be around because of where I was from. Although the family that I was living were PMP, they were telling me that I won't be living to see a past a certain age because it is destined for me to be a criminal, a gunman. People I used to board with, go to school with, dear daughter. But the mother had seen something totally different in me. So just let that sink in. So that's the reason why I'm here. Save lives. My life was saved because of good parenting. This man is not here to help. He's here to destroy us from within. So the election is not about the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization versus the JLP. This is about Jamaica versus those who want to see Jamaica burn. We have real Jamaican leader in Andrew Holness, a man born in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, schooled there, grew up here, live here, and lead us from here. He has a Jamaican birth certificate. He has classmates you can talk to. He's our own flesh and blood. Andrew Holness believes in law and order, development and giving our young people a future through education and trade, not guns and funerals. And what about Mark Gummerbeer Golden? What does he believe in? He believes in protecting gunmen, attacking the police, defending criminals, and sabotaging Jamaica's justice system. He's surrounded by men like Peter Battyface Golden, Dayton Kidsmeal Campbell, Anthony Sleepy Hilton, or should I say low energy lawyer, Angela Brownberg, the daughter of former most wanted man Anthony Brown, Danishka Williams, the daughter of Danai Williams, one of the most murderous Jamaicans. And man, these are people that openly disrespect law enforcement and shows more compassion for criminals than their victims. My fellow Jamaicans, listen to the polls, yes, but do not be fooled by them. Polls do not win elections. Votes do. Do not sit at home and expect your neighbor to make the right decision. You must vote. You must go to the polls and vote like your life, your children's life, and your nation's future depend on it. Just like 1980, what they have done and save us from becoming a communist island. The same that they did in 1980, that's going 45 years ago. They had saved us from another a man who was born in England, Michael Manley. So now you have to save us from this man, Mark Gummerbeer Golden. The choice is clear. Vote for Jamaica. Equals vote for Andrew Holness. Reject the foreigner, the traitors and the killers, and say no to Mark Gummerbeer Golden and the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. Let it be known that for those who vote for the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization are not just wrong, they are traitors. These are descendants of those who sold our ancestors into slavery, who aligned with the colonizers, who put their dirty hearts, minds with the colonizer and collect the 30 pieces of silver over the soul of our people. These are not patriots, they are enemies of progress. We are moving forward as a nation, but we must do it without the parasites, the enablers and the saboteurs. It is time to dump them like hot garbage. Let's rise, let's vote, let's reclaim our Jamaica, because this is now. We have to get rid of them. Vote for Jamaica, vote for Andrew Holness. polls don't win the election, vote does. So please go out and vote. So I want you to listen to Cliff Hughes. You watch, you listen, and you decide. You're going to hear the polls and he's reading out in full. You won't get these things from the television Jamaica or CVM, because I know that they are PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization mouthpiece. They are there to destroy your children and destroy their future. Because these people is all about what's in it for me. They are not patriots. So you watch, you listen, and you decide.
Have it.
So, based on the latest edition of the polls, a clear majority of registered voters now believe the Andrew Holness-led governing Jamaica Labour Party is best equipped to address the main problems they are facing in the country. 51% of Jamaicans say they believe Holness and the Labour Party are best equipped to solve the problems of crime, unemployment, and cost of living. 3 of the issues they named as being central concerns of theirs. That 51% has risen sharply in the last 3 months from where it was. Well, it is now 51%. When we asked this question 3 months ago, the figure was 37%. Yeah? So that's a significant 14 percentage point increase. Ricardo Brooks has been tracking the numbers for you.
The Holness-led JLP has been touting what it says is a record of performance and achievement over its near decade-long stint in government. The Prime Minister himself has asked voters to reflect on which of the 2 political parties are best suited to get the job done.
All governments must come to you with a manifesto of plans, things that we're going to do. And you have to assess, can they do it? It's very good to talk, rhetoric, promises, glowing words, but the real test, who delivers, who gets the job done. That's what it comes down to.
It seems Jamaicans are now clear on an answer. When the Blue Dot pollsters asked 1,618 registered voters between May 2 and 17 which party they believed could successfully address the main problems facing Jamaica, the response was unequivocal. 51% of them said the JLP. That's a 14-point jump since February this year, when 37% placed their confidence in the JLP's ability. Notably, the JLP's strength on this question has risen by 23 points since February of 2023. That's when it recorded the lowest confidence level of 28%. The pollsters say the significant increase in confidence suggests voters are fast making up their minds and choosing between 2 governing visions. The People's National Party, PNP, has also seen an increase in public confidence in their ability to tackle the country's biggest problems. The party rose by 7 points over the last 3 months. The party moved from 25% then to 32% now. It's the highest level of public confidence seen in these polls regarding the PNP's ability to successfully govern. The PNP has increased by 12 points in voter confidence since 2023. But it's still dwarfed by the JLP's 19-point lead on the question of confidence. That's well outside the margin of error of 2.3%. 17% of respondents were undecided about which party was best suited to deal with the country's problems. But that figure has fallen from a high of 52% back in 2023. This may give credence to the observation of the pollsters that a strong majority of voters have indeed made up their minds ahead of this year's general election. In fact, the data suggests that for the first time in these polls, the confidence being expressed in both major political parties has surpassed 80%. If the JLP's General Secretary, Dr. Horace Chang, is right, and the record of achievement will indeed be decisive in the upcoming elections, the Prime Minister may well be dusting off his calendar and checking the available dates. in June, July, August, or September? Only Holness knows. Ricardo Brooks for Nationwide News.
The nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools. Total Tools, they almost always have it.
86% of people who have tingling or numbness in their hands or feet are ignoring the warning signs of decaying nerves. This is an urgent message for anyone suffering from constant numbness, tingling, and burning in their feet, as well as heavy and cramped legs that drain their energy, or sharp, prickly pains shooting through their toes, disrupting their sleep. Recent Ivy League research shows this newly discovered nerve plaque is clogging, overloading, and decaying your nerves, triggering the tingling, burning, and cramping that's driving you crazy. During their research, they also stumbled upon a breakthrough 30-second DIY technique that's clinically proven to fight neuropathy better than any drug and cut your pain in half. This new discovery can...
Thank you, Ricardo, for that. And this particular finding will give comfort to some and heartbreak to others, because for the Labour Party, a 14 percentage point surge between February and now, 3 months, that they are, in the minds of the voter, the best equipped party to tackle the issues of concern at 51% versus 32% for the PNP. That is comforting. Yeah? It is also significant that the confidence in the GLP's ability to tackle the country's problems has risen across all demographic groups in the country. It says not only young people, middle-aged people, or the elderly, against in all age groups. Voters between 18 and 24 years old were most confident in the governing party's ability, with 61% saying the GLP was best placed to address the country's problems. That's an increase of 16 points since February. Mahiri Stewart has a breakdown of how the age groups answered this question.
The conventional wisdom says the GLP has strength among young people. These polls say that may well be true. The party holds a massive 37-point lead over the PNP, with voters between 18 and 24 years old. 61% of this cohort chose the GLP as best suited to govern. 24% chose the PNP. The governing party is also showing strength with voters 25 to 34 years old, where they lead the PNP 47% to 27%. The GLP has climbed 12 points in the last 3 months with this age group. The PNP draws even with the JLP among voters 35 to 44, where both parties are tied on 35% support. The JLP breaks out again with voters 45 to 54, moving ahead of the PNP by 24 points with this middle-aged demographic, registering 57% support when it comes to confidence, while the PNP nets 33%. The PNP manages to narrow the confidence gap with voters 55 to 64, but the JLP still leads by 12 points, 53% to the opposition's 41%. Most notably, voters over 65 are expressing significant levels of confidence in the JLP's governing ability, giving the party a near 30-point lead over the PNP, 56% to 27%. The pollsters say the JLP's strength across the generational spectrum may be driven by national developments. The pollsters were in the field amid news of the country's 40% decrease in murders, the public interest surrounding the opening of the Morant Bay Urban Center, and the government's repeated touting of the unemployment rate. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Mahiri. We're up on the break, but there are some other polling data and trends to report to you this morning. After the break, the question of trust and confidence, uppermost. And the Blue Dot pollsters asked about trust in Holness as Prime Minister of Jamaica. You're going to hear the findings after the break. nationwide poll results. And, you know, the fact that we are in the election campaign season, these poll results have taken on even more significance for the two major political parties, their organizers, their supporters, and the significance of the results is going to peak later this week when we give you the party standings. And I make the point that these numbers don't necessarily mean that you're going to see people agreeing one-to-one that, listen, they're going to vote this way or that way because they believe this party is best equipped to solve the problems. Because people's actually voting for a party, involved in that decision making are several other factors, known and unknown. The general wisdom is that they should or would be expected to vote for the party they feel that is best equipped to solve the problems. But it doesn't necessarily follow. It does not necessarily follow. Yeah? People make up their minds about who they're going to vote for. Not sometimes based on rational thinking, but loyalties, especially in our deeply tribalized society, where some people will tell you, say, me a ban Labourite, or me a ban PNP. Me can't vote for the other party before someone a vote. That's the thinking. Yeah? They will admit to you that, yes, this party is doing well in government, but we can't vote for them, you know. The thing got a drop off. You have those, especially the older Jamaicans who are wedded to the two political tribes. Yeah? So, for you out there thinking, oh, so it means Labour at this and whatever. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. I think this election is still very open and there's everything to fight for. Everything to fight for. So, one of the questions we ask, because it is one of the factors at play in how people vote on the day. Trust. We asked about the confidence to deal with the problems. Trust. And trust is always a big issue. Yeah? Because for people to vote for you, especially the head of the ticket, the leader of the party, must enjoy trust. And what do we have when we probe this question? According to the Blue Dot pollsters, public trust in the Holness administration has hit its highest mark in 2 years. It's the highest it has been in 2 years. And you will note that this administration and this Prime Minister has been hammered. Yeah? Hammered over the last 2.5 years. Yes? So we asked this question, and what did we find? The political persona that is Andrew Michael Holness, Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, is showing remarkable resilience despite the attacks.
If you've got pink salt, apple cider vinegar, and baking soda in your kitchen and you're not using this recipe yet, you're throwing away your chance to lose weight effortlessly.
Trust in him is at its highest in 2 years. Here's George Davis with that report.
The nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools. Total Tools, they almost always have it.
When the Blue Dot pollsters asked 1,618 people if they trusted or distrusted the Holness government, 46% say they trust them. 43% expressed distrust. The 46% expressing trust is the highest level recorded in the Blue Dot polls since 2023. The government has gained 12 points in the trust column over the last 2 years, moving from 34 to 46%. At the same time, distrust in the administration has fallen from a high of 57% 2 years ago to 43% in these polls. That's a 14-point dip in the distrust column. 11% of respondents were unsure. That's grown marginally from the 9% who were also expressing uncertainty 2 years ago. When it comes to trust and gender, the Holness administration has fallen marginally with women over the last 3 months, dipping from 46% in February to 44% in May. At the same time, trust with men inched up over the same period, moving from 45% in February to 48% in May. The distrust numbers across both genders have held relatively steady in the 3-month period, showing no significant movement outside the margin of error of 2.3%. So too the number of Jamaicans who say they are unsure. When age is considered, the government's highest levels of trust are with voters 65 years and older, with 53% of this cohort indicating they do trust Holness's administration. This is up 5 points from the 48% recorded 3 months ago. Distrust in this cohort stands at 35%. Voters 55 to 64 expressed the next highest level of trust in the government, standing at 52%. This cohort registered distrust of 39% in the government. Voters 18 to 24 registered 47% trust, while distrust stood at 39%. Voters 35 to 44 were least likely to trust the administration, registering distrust at 47%, while their trust stood at 42%. It should be noted that distrust in the government has fallen among all age groups, albeit marginally. The nationwide Blue Dot polls were conducted between May 2 and 17. George Davis for Nationwide News.
George, so there you have it. Those numbers are in. And as I said, the resilience of the political personality that is Andrew Holness, yes, is clearly on display there. Later today or tomorrow you'll hear what the voters think in terms of trust where the opposition leader is concerned. Yes? And that should be interesting as well. Alright? We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to...
Yes, Andrew Holness is Jamaica's future, because Andrew Holness is a Jamaican by birth. Now that you have listened to Cliff Hughes' commentary, let me remind you of one irrefutable truth. Polls do not win elections. Vote do. Your vote is your power. Your vote is your choice. And this election, your vote is a declaration of love for Jamaica. We are at a critical juncture in our nation's history. The decision you make at the ballot box will shape not just the next 5 years, but the very soul of our island for generations to come. So let me speak plainly and without apologies. Mark Gamabir Golden is not a Jamaican, whether by birth or naturalization. And if he is a naturalized Jamaican, we don't want him as we don't want a foreigner as our prime minister. Period. Go back to your country. We don't want no foreigner in our country. Period. Go back to England. The decision you make at the ballot box will shape not just the next 5 years, but the soul of our island for generations to come. Mark Gamabir Golden has no ancestral roots in Jamaica. His loyalty does not lie with the Jamaican people. He's a foreigner. He's a white man born in Britain, an imposter who has infiltrated our political system through the corrupt and criminally compromised PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. Ask yourself this: why would we, as proud black Jamaicans, black people, whose ancestors bled and died to free us from slavery, now willingly hand the reins of power to a white man born in the very country that enslaved us? Is this not betrayal of the highest order? Mark Golding must go back to England. Yes, him to go back to Britain, where he was born. He may fool some of his rearers patois and crocodile smiles, but the truth is glaring. He's not a Jamaican in blood, spirit, or sacrifice. He doesn't know the pain of growing up in Spanish Town, Jonestown, concrete jungle, where gunshots sing more than birds. He never walked barefoot to school, hungry but hopeful. He doesn't know to go in line and get bulgur and milk powder and khaki clothes so you come back to school September. He don't know he never eat Nutribun. He never faced the struggle of our people endure daily. He never take JOS bus, sit down on them tough seat. He's a tourist in our suffering, pretending to be a savior. White man can't save black people. But we are not fools. We, Jamaicans, are not fools. Our Prime Minister must ban here. Our Prime Minister must feel our pain, speak our language, eat our food, live our culture, and understand what it means to be truly Jamaican. Not just wear it like costume for votes. That man is Andrew Holness, born in Spanish Town, raised on Jamaican soil, educated here, and committed to building a future for Jamaicans, not criminals, not foreign elites, not political parasites. Andrew Holness is the embodiment of Jamaica's hope and the only true Jamaican leader on the ballot. So I say to every patriotic Jamaica, get up and vote for Jamaica. Vote Andrew Holness. Reject the foreigner, reject the imposter, reject the traitors. If you vote for Mark Gomebe Golding and the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, you are not just voting against Andrew Holness. You are voting against Jamaica. You are voting against your ancestors. You are voting against your children. Let it be known. Jamaica belongs to Jamaicans, not to the foreigners with fake allegiances and hidden agendas. Vote like your island depends on it, because it does. I want to fire upon the traitor them. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica, Young Police Channel, out.